Hello and welcome to Martin Sports Complex as Adelaide United take on Western United in round 7 of the Liberty A-League. The home side are still looking for their first win of the campaign, and you'll have to go all the way back to March of this year for the last time that they claimed all 3 points. The Reds this week will of course have to overcome a Western United side with a newly appointed coach in the form of Cat Smith. The huge news came out of the west of Melbourne just as the international break started, with inaugural coach Mark Torcalzo and assistant coach Helen Winterburn making their way. Former Western Sydney Wanderers coach Cat Smith will want to start her tenure off with a bang. Riley Dobson joining me here today in commentary. Do you think Cat Smith can overcome this Adelaide side who are desperate for 3 points?
She has a lot of potential in this space, purely based on the fact that she has a structured defensive block that she likes to work with, attributed to the fact that they love to be an attacking focus going forward, and that's what Western United have. So I'm really looking forward, plus the conditions today, to see what these two teams put forward.
And speaking of what the teams will put forward, let's have a look for the starting lineups of both teams. Big news coming out of Adelaide with Annalise Grove dropping out of the matchday squad and Claudia Jenkins getting her second opportunity in red. Other news is Hannah Blake is back in the starting lineup after missing the last game due to injury, and Miley Grigg, the scholarship signing from the NTC system here in South Australia, is named on the bench for the first time after announcing her signing this week. And not many changes for Cat Smith with her first game in charge. TJ Vlenich, the only change in the starting lineup. Carly Johnson, who was on Young Matilda's duty this week, making way. Natasha Dackage, the leading appearance maker in the NPLW Victoria, is named on the bench for an opportunity for her first appearance for Western United this campaign. And speaking about what we can see from this attack from Adelaide United, who are your players to watch for the girls in red today?
We can't go past Hannah Blake, the New Zealand international. She scored 2 goals so far this season, 1 assist in her 5 games. She has such a high attacking prowess, 13 shots on target, 13 shots with 9 of those on target. And what's really nice from Hannah is that she scored on her debut match last year against Western United, so it's lining up quite nicely.
And Western United had so much success last year, but looking to recreate that this year. Well, who was your eye on today, Riley?
Look, after a very quiet second start to the season, Hannah Keane, our international, look, this would be attributed to the fact that she's been put on the wing after being a traditional striker. So linking up with Cat Smith and what they're going to bring forward in attack, I'm really looking forward to her in her traditional role.
And a look to the referees of today's game. The referee in the centre of the pitch will be Isabella Blaise. The assistant referees, Joanna Charakis and Paula Orlandi. The fourth official is Henry Day. Of course, it's a wet and windy day here in Adelaide. The potential of the ground, the game almost got delayed by 30 minutes because of the conditions here. So the players really will have to adjust. How do you see these two teams adjusting?
Look, realistically, this could be the game of the round with the conditions that are at play. It is very much a goalkeeper's worst nightmare because the slickness or the stickiness of the pitch with the amount of water accumulation. So we're going to really watch to see the steady fall of the rain, how it's going to affect, and who can adapt the best to this.
Claudia Jenkins for Adelaide United, just her second appearance in lead. A scholarship player, been involved with the club for quite a few years now. So really massive opportunity for her to step up for this Adelaide United side in quite tough conditions for a goalkeeper.
Look, she's following in from Annalise Grove, who's had, another outstanding season with Adelaide United. However, it's going to give her the opportunity to prove a point, prove her position in this team. She's been with the club for a while, so I'm really looking forward to what this 90 minutes under her.
And Isabel Leas to blow her whistle to get us started. Adelaide United kicking to the left of your screen. Alana Yancheski getting the game underway. A long ball down to begin play. Kicked away by Papadopoulos. A lot of high balls early to start the game, and straight to the feet of Grace Marr, who opts to play it back to Hilary Beale, returning to the club after playing overseas for Racing Louisville. She's returned very much a fan favourite, the goalkeeper of the year, and tussle was on there between Dylan Holmes. Concedes the foul in the end. Melissa Taranto, the unlucky person in the contest in the end, limping off, but fine to continue playing on. Keane. Sawiski playing it back to Sato. Opts to go with some fancy footwork to take the challenge on. Falls to the path Mariah Lee. Morley, through a whole heap of Western players, retains possession of the ball. Hodgson, and intercepted by Sato. So some quick changes of possession. Both teams really looking to play at the feet to start off this game.
With conditions like this, you need to play to feet, apart from when you're going over the top. And you can tell the teams are both nervous with the ball up in the air a fair bit and looking to play to feet only at this point in time.
Ball dancing through the centre. Holmes opts to reset through centre back. Hodgson on the wing. A little tap on there. Hannah Blake was the intended target, but Cern just really strong in the ability to follow the direction of play. Hodgson trying to throw it in, but again, Sawicki been very impressive in her role so far this season for Western United. And missed the opportunity from Sato, and Jancheski low ball delivered into the centre of the box, and now Papadopoulos are running away. And cleared from danger, and an opportunity there for Adelaide United. Lana Jancheski looks so strong on the ball. Ma winning it back for Western United. Through the centre of the pitch. Spots Lugazzo by herself in the centre. Strong ball released through, but too far for Vlanich. Sato still pushing forward from that fullback position. In the end, dealt with Hannah Blake, and Hodgson able to retain the ball for Adelaide. So really back and forth play. Both teams really trying to penetrate deep into their own attacking half quite early into this game.
And you can certainly see how the pitch conditions are playing into this. It's actually not skidding on, it's not running quickly, it's holding up and slowing down the play, and it's getting stuck at times, as we saw previously. What we're going to see, which we've seen with Western United so far, is they're using their spine through the centre of park. So you've got the likes of Ma, you've then got Lagazzo, and then Hannah Keane, who they're trying to play through. So this could very much play into their favour going forward.
Chelsea Dorber trying to release the ball, but to no one in particular, Sawicki, who ends up with possession. Vlanich coming back from injury. Foul conceded on her from Emily Hodgson. Looks to have taken that quite gingerly, just returning from a groin injury. She has missed the past 2 games. The international break working in her favour for that rehabilitation. Cern opts to go through the centre to Lagazzo. Vlanich playing it off the foot of her defender. Opportunity of today's game for TJ Vlanich to play a little bit further up the pitch. We did see that quite a bit last season. A combination between Sato and Vlanich, really attacking minded on that right side flank.
The good thing with TJ Vlanich is she's able to play that wing-back position of right-back, and then she can also play as a winger. So she's very versatile. She's used to getting the Ks. It's just going to be a question of whether that groin can hold up to that today. As we know, groins are fickle, so it'll depend on the loading and how heavy this pitch ends up.
Of course, some attacking players on the bench for Western United. Emma Robers, she scored the winner in the last time these two sides played each other. Lucy Richards and Kiwa Haida. Seen her score her debut goal a couple of weeks ago against the Victory. So lots of options for Kat Smith. She said in the pre-game that she really was looking forward to an attacking brand of football coming onto this game for Western United and implementing that philosophy with this team. So exciting to see what is on offer to her here. And of course, Kat Smith, a coach really familiar with the NPLW Victoria, having coached there for many years. And of course, that is Calder's bread and butter. Western United's bread and butter, recruiting heavily from the Calder United side that won so many championships.
She knows her stuff. She knows the players. This Western United squad, majority have been together for a while now. As you can see, they already, and based off last season as well, they have great foundations from a defensive point of view with how they used to hold out games and win them at the back end. And it would be just by a goal or so. Now they can really focus with Kat Smith on attacking.
And that long ball over the top from Cern to Hannah Keane, and in the end it is called for a handball.
It appears to be the right call, given that Hannah Keane has taken an advantage from this play. So as you can see, it's a perfectly weighted ball, and it's just the bounce that's got her. Unfortunate, we could have seen a great opportunity there.
She loves to score early, Hannah Keane. She loves to score plenty of goals. Only goal of the season coming from the 6 minutes. So pretty much we would have been bang on par from the last time we saw her score. Ma able to find Taranto. Papadopoulos pushing forward. Ball running out of play, but Taranto still giving chase. In the end, it will be a goal kick for United.
You can see how perfectly those through balls are going to hold up so that attackers can run on. It's going to make it very hard for defenders as well.
All black kit today for the Adelaide United keeper. Very apt considering what the weather conditions are like here in this game. Quite wet, quite windy. And Hannah Keane now wins back possession. Strong defence there, and an attempted shot from Savicki from distance, but never going to drop in time for goals.
Look, I think she's just trying to get her eye on the prize there. Was it the best choice at that point in time? No. But for a lot of players, it's about just getting yourself and getting the feel of the ball and how it's going to fly and how much water it's taken up.
Sato towards the centre of the pitch. Yamcheski giving chase to Savicki. Yamcheski still with the ball. Tries to feed it out wide. Papadopoulos and Chelsea Dorber just caught wrong-footed. Unable to judge the path of that ball. Again, the pitch conditions, the weather conditions that we're facing this game, players really forced to adjust so many times. Yamcheski just fouled outside the box, and a real opportunity here from Adelaide from distance. We've seen Alana Yamcheski score goals from this range before. We've seen Nanako Sasaki scores goals from this range before.
And here we see, look, it's just a little grab there by Taranto, which is normal. It's part of, a professional foul. But as you were saying, Georgia, this is Yamcheski's bread and butter. She is very well known for her set plays. This is something that she puts a lot on her social medias in terms of how much practice she puts in. It's a dangerous area. And look, we're going to see if she can challenge Jenkins with her second game this season.
In the end, directly into the keeper. No strong opportunity there for Adelaide, but a shot on target to begin this game. Adrian Centre spoke in the pre-game. The conditions were going to be hard. We might not have an opportunity to see many shots on goal, but the teams have come out attacking both sides, really firing. Blake passes back to Lee.
And what I love is when you have conditions like this, and you've got to look. She's looked for the skid on here, so it's not necessarily going in the air for a header. She's tried to see if this can skid on and make the keeper make a save.
Hodgson into the path of Sato. Cern just trying to clear the ball. Keane now with time and space to run. Tries to thread it through, but Hodgson, a whole heap of Western players pushing forward. And in the end, Western regained possession.
That ball it was just almost inch perfect, and I was getting excited already. But I love to see the desperation from all the attacking players for Western United to go after that loose ball. They've still retained possession, and Hannah Keane is looking at home again finally.
Through the centre, Yamcheski lays it off. And Grace Ma, she's made the move from the other Green United team in Canberra to Western this season. Saw her play a lot in midfield in Canberra, now primarily as a centre back here.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised under Kat Smith to actually see Grace Ma be pushed into the midfield. She is someone who likes to steer the ship. She can maintain the tempo, a bit like a Xavi Alonso almost in a way. So she can offer this. She's versatile. It's the same as Jana Yamcheski. She offers that for Adelaide, and she's shown that already by being on the ball and controlling the tempo for them.
Sasaki out wide to Dorber, but ends up flying over her head.
It's just that final pass with Adelaide at this point in time. It's just not coming to them. But hopefully, next couple of minutes, things can settle for them.
And foul call against Sasaki. Chloe Lagazo getting a small talking to from referee Isabel Baez, just told to settle it down for the moment.
Look, with these conditions, it's not surprising. Look, it's a little bit of an awkward situation, that one, but you can't disagree or really agree with the referee no matter which way she went.
Another opportunity for a free kick here. Dylan Holmes and Yamcheski standing over the ball. And some confusion about whether the free kick can be taken. Played low. Dorba down home's running onto it. They're running out of space in the end. Potentially something out of the training ground?
I'm not really sure what happened there. I'm a little bit confused myself. I thought they were indicating there was something going on or on the pitch, but they just don't seem to be on the same page, Adelaide United.
Beale looking to play it out from the back. Grace Maher running onto space. It's also some confusion from the Western United players. Does seem, again, because of these conditions, the ball isn't moving the way that they're anticipating, so they keep getting caught wrong-footed. Cern pressing up. Time and space in front of her. Now to Vlanic. Opts to go short to Savitsky. Lagazzo. Boots it long to Hannah Keane. Able to trust it forward, but the touch just evades her too far, but that is two promising opportunities. We've seen those long balls over the top to Hannah Keane.
We're already seeing the threat that Hannah Keane presents, but what I really loved in that move was the inverted movement of TJ Vlanic so that we could have Chloe Lagazzo pull out and put that ball over the top. It confused everyone. It allowed for TJ to have space because the players didn't know what to do or who to follow.
Ball training possession back and forth through the centre. Yamcheski brings it down, pushes it forward, through ball into Mariah Lee. Hannah Blake is all by herself and lays down just on the edge of the box. But Hillary Beale there to collect.
We see this ball through, perfectly weighted. This is great work by Grace Maher with her physical strength with Lee, who actually has a very quick turn of foot. I was very eager to see this one-on-one battle with these two progress throughout the game.
Grace Maher, she can really do it all, can't she? Fantastic player, of course. Spoke a little about her just before, but she also known to score quite a few goals. So fantastic utility player for this Western United side. Hodgson taking her time before the throw. Lagazzo intercepting the ball. And Keane again trying to be goal side every time of her defender. Lagazzo getting a foot into it. Papadopoulos playing it through the centre. And Alana Yamcheski causing disruption in the centre of the pitch for Adelaide. And another perfect through ball. This time to Hannah Blake. Sato giving chase. Blake forced out wide. And in the end, it will be Adelaide United's first corner of the game.
And this is what Hannah Blake is known for. She's known for running off the shoulders of her defenders, causing some confusion, holding up the ball, because she's not particularly the fastest attacking player, but she's able to win opportunities. And that's what we've seen with this corner. It's going to see the likes of Hillary Beale and see how she's going to be contested in these conditions, which, as we know from previous season, well, I mean, she got goalkeeper of the season for a reason.
Alana Yamcheski, dead ball specialist, goes for the corner. High delivery, headed towards goal, but ends up going wide. In the end, it will be a goal kick for Adelaide.
It was actually a well-positioned corner. It just came down to the fact that Adelaide didn't really have the players in the right positions to attack that.
Beale spotting Sato and Vlanic, and in the end, dispossessed by Hannah Blake, but Vlanic always able to get in there to try and win the ball. Savitsky knocked over, and in the end, Mariska Waldes going straight into the book. So very early yellow card for Adelaide United's Dutch defender, real strong marshal in defence, Mariska Waldes.
Look, and this now sets the precedence for the cards that are going to be handed out for the game. It was a beautiful ball. It's just that coming in from behind, whilst, there was no malice around it, it is a stock standard yellow, and it's giving Western United now the opportunity, but it also puts Waldes on that warning sign now moving forward.
She missed the beginning of the season due to injury, and Cern pushing forward again, that long ball over the top. Real opportunity. Again, you can see the direct route to goal. That's what Western is looking for today, trying to utilise Hannah Keane for what she does best.
Yep. You're seeing that, and you're seeing the lack of Chloe Lagazzo making those third-man runs as well off her, because that's the beauty of Hannah Keane. She can lay off those balls, so she's not just a goal scorer, she also creates that for those around her.
Blake really trying to, getting in a physical tussle with the Western United players, but in the end wins the throw-in. Quickly played on by Adelaide. Walters. To Tonkin. Sasako. Chloe Lagazzo giving chase. Real opportunity for the press here from Western, causing havoc for these Adelaide defenders, forced to play more balls to try and get it out of their own half. So Vicky ends up winning back ball for Western. And Ma pressing forward. You can hear the rain in this ground. He's really contesting with the weather conditions here. Dorba trying to guard the ball against Papadopoulos. Of course, that height difference, able to use her body physically to guard the play.
Oh, look, height does play a part, but it's the beauty of being a smaller player. I know what that's like. You can get in and around. You can actually get under. It really helps moving forward and really winning those opportunities. Well kept in there too.
Taranto through the centre. See Vlanich lurking there, and from distance, Sawicki directly into path to Claudia Jenkins. Forced to take a couple of saves. And Jacqueline Sawicki, she is the club captain. No goals yet for her.
This is a beautiful weighted ball, just not enough on it, just couldn't wrap a foot quite around it, but the potential is there now, and Western United are knocking at the door. Adelaide United need to step up. They really need to start taking control of this game a little bit more, particularly in the midfield, but also just in terms of their desire to win this ball a lot more.
Sasaki directly into the path of Sato. Now quick turn from Lagazzo, spots Keane. Ups the play back through the centre to Sawicki. Flanish finding her way onto the ground a couple of times, and free kick conceded by Lagazzo. It's a couple to her name now. She'll need to be careful considering that early card to Mariska Walters, and the free kick to be retaken.
Chloe loves to have a tussle. She loves to get physical. So fouls are not unusual to her game. However, it is part of it that she does it in a way that allows her to play freely and really sometimes intimidate the opposition, but that's what you want out of your midfielders.
Ball drops to Ma. Taranto. Push out in the end by Isabel Hodgson. Wearing the captain's armband today. Lee to Sasaki. Finds the feet of Blake, and another through ball in. Hodgson now from the edge of the box. And Cern gets the crucial tap in, and Vlanich able to kick it out for a throw in the end.
Look, it's probably one of the best opportunities that Adelaide United have had. Was it quite the right ball in terms it was straight into her path? She could rethink it and play a little bit more in front of her next time so she could have the shot first time. But it's good signs, and this is what we want to see, is some opportunities by Adelaide United and creating some things.
Hodgson. Holmes comes off Chloe Lagazzo again, so the third throw in a row. Western doing well to congest the space, not really make it easy to find a player. Lee to Holmes. And then in comes Taranto. Sasaki directs it towards the box. Bit of a scramble between the players, and once more Hodgson just allows it to go out to reset the play. Lee. Stolen by Lagazzo. And a thumping kick forward that will result in a goal kick for Western United.
It's still very much backwards and forwards, this game. Yes, Western United are quite dominant in that attacking third, but what we're seeing is that the conditions, the players themselves, obviously, they all want these 3 points. So there's that nervousness around them. So, look, we probably just need to see a bit of a calming atmosphere from both sides, controlling some of that possession a little bit better, and that way we're going to see some more positive outcomes for both teams.
And you can see that in how tight this contest is at the moment. Western United on 52% possession. That's how tightly contested this battle actually is between the two sides.
I'm not surprised at all by those statistics. It's been, as we've said before, backwards and forwards. But as the game goes on and the pitch heaviness and whether the loading for those players comes into account as well, we're seeing Adelaide with these smaller passes now.
Hannah Blake released at the top of the box. Hannah Blake with an opportunity, but goes low. And Beale is there to collect the ball, but Hannah Blake on the ground, and it doesn't look good. Unfortunately, the way that she's tapping that ground just brought down by Sato.
As we see this beautiful ball through to Hannah Blake, she's winded up. She just hasn't got the shot off quite well, and Julia Sato's come sliding in, clipped her on the ankle by the looks of it. She's not looking very comfortable here, and I can say that when you often see players bashing the ground and barely moving, it's never a great indicator in terms of what injury and what pain they're experiencing at that point in time. This could potentially be a huge blow for Adelaide United.
Yeah, thoughts are with Hannah Blake right now. Really hope she is okay, and she's been such a star this season for the Adelaide United team.
You can see there with Julia Sato coming in, who's collected the ball as well as the player at the same time, and there has been a lateral roll of that ankle. It's known to football players around the world. It's that crucial moment where you just twinge and cringe because you know what it's like when you've experienced it yourself. You can tell from the jittery leg as well that she's trying to hold it together, but obviously there's a lot going on. So I no doubt we'll see a break in play here so that they can treat Hannah Blake appropriately and the teams can gather themselves.
Of course. And of course, talking about football and this break of play, are you excited for Unite Round in January? Because I know I certainly am. What about a festival of football that we can all enjoy? All of the action of the Liberty A-League and the Isuzu A-League as well, all in one place for a weekend. Are you going to go?
Look, I'm hoping to make some matches or be part of it in some way, shape or form. We're going to have 3 days, 12 matches, all the teams in one area from the 12th to the 14th of January in Sydney 2024.
And I know I'm certainly looking forward to it, but look back to the game. Really hope Hannah Blake is okay. She is walking off the pitch, which is a promising sign. So hopefully it was just a stinger. Every athlete who understands that feeling when you get clipped on the ankle like that really does hurt. But promising signs, fingers crossed she's able to rejoin this game because she's in some red hot form at the moment.
That she is. And look, walking off a pitch is one thing and then joining in is another. So the next few minutes is going to be crucial for her to see how that ankle is going to hold up in these conditions and whether even the cool down of half-time plays a part in that injury as well.
Of course, a couple of options on the bench for Adrian Stenter. Miley Grigg, that player I was talking about in the lead up to the match, very much an attacking midfielder. Can also see American Jenna Holtz make her way onto the pitch, or even Zoe Toland. So some options on the bench. And ball forward, Hannah Keane just with the pace running forward. And she's looking so dangerous. Those balls over the top each time. More and more opportunities come beckoning for Western United.
I honestly thought that she was going to get a toe in and either win a foul there or the ball will go around her and slot that in for the keeper. I'm so surprised that she didn't, but with an injury that we've just had, potentially she's just thinking of welfare as well.
And Hannah Blake has come back onto the pitch. You can see her just at the bottom of your screen there. So hopefully she is all okay now. Western opting to play it out from the back, reset. Wondering if we'll see another option and see the Hannah Blake able to move quite well now. So hopefully we'll see some more action from her later on. Sato releasing the ball to Vlanich.
That was a slightly agricultural tackle. As you can see, TJ Vlanich, she's questioning whether there was something in that. But given the circumstances and slippery state, we're going to move on because her team has the ball regardless.
Sato back to Taranto, pushes it back to Cern. Quick switch up of a play now from Cern to Ma. And a quick look at the amount of fouls in this game early on. 4 for Adelaide, 5 for Western United. We have seen historically in the season and a bit that Western have been in, they do have quite a bit of a foul count, but they are, the ultimate professionals, winning them in favour of their team. So lots of fouls early in this game as we enter the first 30 minutes.
And look, when teams are vying for points, conditions like this, you're going to see fouls. Everything is hotly contested. Everyone wants the ball. And it's a natural part of the game, which I think that spectators and people actually forget about sometimes. Fouls are part of it. You know, there are those that are intentional, there are those that are professional, but it's all part of this beautiful game that we like to watch and be a part of.
What did Katie McCabe say after the Australian-Ireland game in the World Cup? There was a lot of, fouls on the pitch. Yeah, good, I liked it. So, important part of the game, especially in the women's game, we see, how tightly contested these things are. There are points on the line. These titles mean something. This is football.
It is. It's about playing a physical game. And you've got two teams that both like to play it. As you can see, a perfect role there by TJ Vlanich. She likes to be physical. We've seen that already. You can see she's not obviously happy about the situation. But look, beautiful ball over the top. It's one. TJ's used her body. But yes, she has dropped the shoulder in contention as well. You win some, you lose some.
You can see Adelaide coach Adrian Stenter. He said the international break was a good opportunity for the players to focus internally, reflect on what has happened early in the season. They're currently sitting 11th. No wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. So they'll be really wanting to get that first win on the board for the season, especially playing at home. So, Riley, obviously, this Adelaide United team, we've seen quite some changes in the past 2 seasons. Of course, they made the semi-final 2 seasons ago. And TJ Vlanich still pushing forward, but ultimately will be an Adelaide throw-in. This season, they haven't had the success that they potentially had at the start of last season, the season before that. What do you think is missing from their wins, their game at the moment?
Look, they had quite a high turnover at the back end of last season and starting now. And Stenter did say that it is a rebuild season for them. For me, looking at this lineup so far and from games this season past, what we see is their midfield is quite cohesive. It's just they're not linking up quite right with their runs in that final third.
And now Taranto pushing forward. Blake giving chase. Low ball in, an opportunity, but Claudia Jenkins comes out to collect. As Melissa Taranto was out there running as well. So again, Western United just peppering towards goal. Those long balls, those low balls. However way they want to deliver them, they have opportunities coming towards goal. And now Adelaide United on the counter-attack. Mariah Lee pushing forward. Cern, but in the end, runs into the advertising boarding. But another strong opportunity there from Adelaide. The counter-attack was on.
Look, Lee is a huge threat for Adelaide for these through balls, and I'm very surprised with that little contest just then in the back that she didn't go down and potentially win a penalty. But what I love about a player is who's going to stick to her morals and is going to play the game in that fairness, which I have a lot of respect for. But we're seeing end-to-end here. Western United are knocking on the door, but that's not to say that Adelaide aren't either with some of their opportunities that have come about recently.
Now, once more, Western United pressing through, but a little bit of a miscommunication between Sato and Vlanich. Hodgson assessing options before taking the throw. And a quick look to the shots. So we've spoken about those runs Western United have had, but they haven't really resulted in shots. Only 2. Adelaide have been the one peppering the goal with Hillary Beale in it at the moment.
Look, it doesn't surprise me with the runs that Adelaide have come through. However, the question is, yes, they've had 5 shots, but how many of those have necessarily been considered on target? The same as Western United. As we've said, the product is there, but the outcome isn't at this point in time. I think once they start linking that up, we're going to see a lot more action.
Janczewski laying it out wide to Dorba. Janczewski on the edge of the box, a scooping shot, but doesn't really trouble Hillary Beale in the end. An easy collection for her.
Janczewski, she is so dangerous in these areas. You look and she sets herself back enough, and she has the ability to really direct her shots. She didn't get it quite off then, but she's known for able to bending a ball into top corners. So she's such a threat for Adelaide in the way that she sets herself away from the ball. She checks away and it allows her to have that space and have that time.
Was at Perth Glory last season and played her off-season in the NPL Victoria as Taranto still pressing forward. Slides in against Waldus and free kick conceded. But Janchevsky, played for Bulleen Lions, who were the premiers in NPLW Victoria, scored many goals with that team. Really crucial part for the success that team had this season as well. So great to see these players playing State League in the off-season, playing the Liberty A-League in the summertime. Really, the football talent coming through in this country is huge.
It is, and just looking back at that foul, Taranto just got a little ahead of herself. She's tried to win it. Whilst there was no essential contact made, it is still the potential of a yellow card. And we're seeing that with how slippery the pitch is becoming. We've just had Chloe Lagazo, by the looks of it, who's also gone down in a tackle. She's going to be cautious, considering what her injury run has been of late and looking after her health and well-being. So she's just tried to skip past a couple of players. And it's just that late shoulder charge in. It's going to sting a little bit, probably reverberate up into that spine, the cervical spine. But this is Chloe. She's tough nuts.
I'm really enjoying the medical insights we're getting from you this game as well, because you bring this great technical knowledge of where the players will be feeling it within their bodies. But she is just holding on to that neck a little bit. Lagazo, of course, has had some injury concerns over the past 18 months or more at the moment. Minimal minutes throughout the season. Was really hoping to break into that Matildas World Cup squad, but really wasn't the case in the end, just due to the run of injuries that she's had.
It's hard to make those big squads, and just squads in general, when you're not getting minutes under your belt. It's such an important part at any stage of the game.
Blake Cern really trying to push her high and wide. Opts instead to reset play through Holmes. Hodgson on the run out wide. Mariah Lee there for support. In through the centre to Dylan Holmes. Dorber asking for the through ball. And an opportunity there, and flashes in front of goal and wide. But my goodness, Adelaide, Western United, both sides are looking so dangerous right now.
Look, we're seeing opportunities come from both sides. This is a beautiful ball, and she's really busted herself to get there. You've got Hannah Blake, who's not quite at back stick. She's just delayed her run a bit too much, so she could have been there, but we just need some more players forward from Adelaide, and we could see some further opportunities here and some goals, which would be wonderful.
Both teams really have adjusted well to the conditions to be able to provide this many, opportunities towards goal. Not having quite a few shots at the moment, but they're really not letting the conditions dictate the way they're playing. They're really pushing forward.
What's nice is, considering Australia is known for its significant temperatures in the 30s and the 40s, even when players are playing at this level, both teams have probably taken this as, these are cooler temperatures. This is the best type of weather to play football.
And given the high amount of players that have played in the wintertime in the South Australian Victorian Premier Leagues, you would think that this is then a readjustment to what they've previously have been used to. But another foul conceded, another dead ball opportunity. We'll likely see Dylan Holmes and Janchevsky over it again.
Look, it was a small turn of foot by Taranto, and she's just caught Holmes by the looks of it. It's just one of those unfortunate circumstances that happen as players. We all do it. It's no harm, no foul, really, can you say? But another opportunity for Adelaide United to put Hilary Beale plus the defenders under pressure.
Janchevsky, high ball delivery, and collected by Beale. Little pat in the back from Cern as they look to get their counter-attack underway. Papadopoulos out wide to Adriana Taranto, and unfortunately a ball kid gets hit in the process. Papadopoulos. Taranto. Again, that strong body on pressure from Holmes. Through the centre. Again, they're really trying to box these players out wide. And it's been effective. They've been able to regain possession.
It has, and what I'd like to see from Western United, particularly coming from the last 20 minutes, they've stopped switching the play as much as what they were doing in that first quarter. You can see there they got boxed in. Taranto could have played her defender, either Ma, and they could have switched it out onto this right side and really capitalised with the speed that is out this way. Not saying that the left side doesn't, but they have a lot of pace out here waiting to be utilised.
And now United doing that switch of play between the two centre-backs, passing it back and forth. In the end, ends up in the path of Taranto. Papadopoulos still running through. Out wide, now Hannikin giving chase. And Hodgson puts it out for a throw. Off a deflection of Hannikin.
Hannikin's been doing a lot in back play. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but she's making runs off the shoulders of her defenders and sitting in between the lines. So it's allowing them to open up the space for those through balls, but also act as a false nine, drop in, and allow someone like Lagazzo or two of the wingers to run in behind.
Cern dancing her way through, still retaining the ball a long way from where she started. Trying to keep a foot in the end. Scooping ball gets it away, and Hannah Blake once more through ball. And Papadopoulos, that diagonal run through to cut off the drive.
Western United are very much getting caught on this counter-attack, and it's evident through the opportunities that have actually come on goal have come from those counter-attacks. Hannah Blake just didn't get the ball quite right. It probably should have been a little bit forward so that her winger can run onto that. But well done by Adelaide. They're fighting their way back into this game really nicely.
Something so enjoyable about delicious counter-attacking football. And it's great to see what these teams are in play. And Holmes thought she was away there for the moment, but concedes the foul. Weston keen to get the ball moving. Savicki keeps playing it on out wide to Taranto. Instead, pausing for a moment, resetting play through Papadopoulos. Melissa Taranto to her twin. And ball that was just not enough on it, directly into the path of Sasaki. But in the end, another opportunity for Western goes begging.
What I'm really enjoying with these two teams is you've got Adelaide United who are focusing on a counter-attack rather than possession-based football. They're moving the ball really quickly as soon as they win it. You've got Western United who are focusing on possession-based but playing quite direct through Hannikin. So it's interesting to see how they cross each other out, and a lot of that is happening through both back lines.
And now, again, see just how close attention Riley is playing to Cern. Sato supporting her teammate by just skipping the ball through. Passes it to Ma. Lee giving chase. And again, Ma pushing forward. And that ball goes directly in the pass of Trina. Jenkins comes all the way out. Shouts for a handball. In the end, Tonkin able to just bring it out away from danger. But my goodness, another stellar opportunity there for Western. Claudia Jenkins standing strong.
I was literally about to say that was a great effort by Jenkins. She's shown just how strong she is in the box. She's done what a keeper should do. So coming out, making herself large with two players coming down on her. It was great by her and the defenders for Adelaide as well. They've swamped the ball. They've hunted it down. Yes, Taranto's got a bit of a stinger here, I think it is. So a beautiful ball. And we've got both players keeping their defenders preoccupied. Yes, she's copped a kick in the shin, but that's part of being an attacking player in this game. And Adelaide have attempted to counter beautifully.
Claudia Jenkins, she's a scholarship player with the club, been around for a couple of years, but she's 25 years of age, had her first appearance against Central Coast Mariners a couple of weeks ago when Annalise Grove was out with a concussion, but really trying to make the most of her opportunity here in goals today. And of course, she has quite the experienced backline in front of her. You know, the players for Adelaide United who are in front of her are a lot of their, you know, key leading appearance makers, and Isabel and Emily Hodgson. Emily Condon isn't on the pitch today. She's on the bench at the moment, but their leading appearance maker as well. So and Mariska Walters, again, you know, the 30-year-old defender, huge experience to help support her player. Headed away there from Tonkin.
I'd like to just see a little bit more care taken by Western United. Yes, they're peppering balls into the box, but are they quality? Are they the right ball to make? It's questionable at this point in time. If they're actually going to move it around a little bit more, they're going to create space, drag those Western United defenders, which is not Western United, the Adelaide United defenders, which we just saw before. They were able to do that and get a potential shot on goal.
And now another opportunity for the counter-attack for Adelaide United. Dorba just really flirting with that line, and the offside flag is up immediately, but Hannah Blake had so much time and space in front of her to make magic happen.
Hannah Blake loves to just hang out on this wing. Okay, so she's finding that Western United, so the likes of Julia Sardo and Cern are pushing forward. And she goes, why would I work back when I can sit here and we can play this counter-attack? And look how well it's going. She just needs to double check her line, even if she checks back before she makes that run.
And of course, you know, Adelaide United, the most times have conceded goals. And again, another opportunity for the counter-attack. So many players in front of them. Hannah Blake opts to go through the middle, plays it out wide to Lee. In the end, flashes wide. Really a whole great build-up that amounts to nothing for Adelaide in that moment.
Both teams are having these opportunities of lackluster. They're just making the wrong decision. It's not something that I can really see the conditions playing a part in. It's just getting either that bit too excited, not enough pace, or too much pace.
Final couple of minutes of regulation time for the first half. The last time these two sides faced each other, they went into the halftime sheds 0-0. Of course, Adelaide were then able to score before Western put 2 goals in stoppage time to win it at the death. So opportunity could come beckoning in the second half, but you know, Adelaide, they've conceded the most amount of goals in the last 15 minutes of the first half out of any 15-minute period in the game. So on average within the season. So really interesting opportunity now, but they look alive and hungry. It's hard to say which side looks more capable of scoring at the moment. What would you say, Riley?
Look, it can go either way. It's both teams have had their opportunities. Both haven't taken their opportunities. For me, it's going to be who's got the best conditioning in the second half, in their legs, how the pitch is going to make them feel as well. And you can just see in that moment the water that's sprayed up.
Through ball, Bill coming out wide to clear it away, but still Adelaide retained possession. Oh, everyone stopped in play for a moment. Sasaki spotted the run of Hodgson. And then a foul off the ball, but Western are away. Taranto running in. It's Tonkin giving chase and a high delivery, and in the end it will be a goal kick.
We just had a lot happen in a short space of time. Beautiful run by Taranto here. She made sure that she ran across her defender. She kept driving into the box, and she's just managed to skip past. She's off balance when she's gone for the shot. That's the only thing that hasn't quite worked in her favour. Could she have held up the ball a little bit, just turn a foot? She could have. But look, I don't blame her for trying to take a shot in these conditions or in that position.
Able to really challenge effectively 2 defenders, so why not have a shot at it? The game stands at 0-0. You know, Adelaide looking for their first win. Western currently sitting 6th on the table. They really want to make sure that they are in that position to contend for finals. You know, we have a full home and away this season, but that doesn't mean that every game doesn't count. Sardo. High ball into Keane, right in the edge of the box, chested down, Lagazo in play, but scramble around and in the end, cleared away from Adelaide.
We've got pinball happening in the box just there. Everyone wanted to have a piece of the pie. And look, with a full home and away season, you can't take any points for granted. Only a couple of seasons ago, 15 to 18 points was guaranteeing you a spot in finals playoffs. Now it's a lot more than that. You're hitting up into like close to the 30s to be able to contest for the final series. Both these teams have the potential, but they need to start taking points.
Taranto with the ball, lays it low, an opportunity, comes begging, and it's Adriana Taranto assisted by her sister Melissa, and Western United, they take the lead in a very highly contested affair.
And what did we just say? We needed someone out of these two teams to start taking points, and this was a beautiful ball across, so it's whipped across in between the defender and our goalkeeper with Jenkins. Perfectly placed, neither knows who to go for the ball, and you've got Taranto coming in, beating her defender and just gently placing that home. This is what Western United needed going into half-time. It's going to put a bit of an edge on the game.
And Taranto Twin Time combines for a goal for Western. I'm sure that everyone at home for their family will be really pleased to see that the two sisters were able to combine for that goal.
they've done a lot of work for this club, the Taranto Twins, so it's nice to see the reward coming in for both of them. And you can also see that they're willing to do whatever is necessary to get the job done for their team. A little bit of angst going on here, and another yellow card for Western United. That's one apiece, I believe, now. But tension's running high as we're coming in to extra time in the first half.
And now Sasaki to take the dead ball. Of course, she scored that stunning free kick in the semi-final against Victory 2 seasons ago. Potentially a little bit out of range, but who knows? Fill your boots. Just gone conceded. Opportunity now comes beckoning for Adelaide. High ball delivery. Tonkin gets ahead to it, but Sato down in the box, cleared away by Western.
Well defended by TJ Blanich. She's well known for her work rate, and that's evident, the amount of effort she's just put in just to make sure the ball went out and they can box in Adelaide there.
And another throw in. Western, I would say, both teams likely just trying to take up time so that they can head back into the sheds. Western really want to go in without conceding at the break now that they have worked so hard to get to this lead. Taranto out wide to Papadopoulos now looking to press, and the opportunity comes back in. There's 2 minutes of stoppage time added on, and we're now pretty deep into the 3rd minute. And with that, Isabella Blaise blows the whistle. And what a tightly contested affair between these two sides, both desperate to claim all 3 points today. But of course, it's that woman on your screen, Adriana Taranto, has made the difference. It is halftime. It's Adelaide United 0, Western United 1. And a quick look to the highlights of this first half, which I argue there are quite a lot, because the teams have been peppering towards goal. Whether there has been a lot of meaningful chances from the build-up of play is a different question, but Riley, let's take a look at what we've seen so far.
Look, Western United have been very direct, but this comes from a pure moment just minutes ago by the T-Twins, I could say. Beautiful sister assisting sister. Back stick, slotted it home. She didn't try to belt it. She just placed it nicely. It's a well-deserved goal after a lot of attempts, but not getting that off.
And I look at the stats that have made up this first half so far. 7 shots for Adelaide, 5 for Western, 4 on target. 7 to 9 fouls is the thing that I would probably call out. 1 yellow card apiece. So both teams are going towards goal. They're going in on those challenges, and why wouldn't they? This is a greatly contested game of football.
Look, it's an equally tested game by both sides, and that's been evident from the game that we've seen. I'm really looking forward to what both coaches do for the second half and what the game plan is, particularly for Adelaide and the opportunities that they've created and what they're going to do with those.
And of course, we will be back with the second half very shortly. You're watching on Paramount Plus and 10 Play. Do not look away.
Yes.
And we are back for the start of the second half. It is, of course, Adelaide United taking on Western United, and some late drama at the end of the first half saw Western take a lead through Adriana Taranto. Players returning onto the pitch. It is a wet day here in Adelaide. Of course, Adelaide searching for their first win of the campaign. Western looking to get their first win under brand new coach Kat Smith. Joined by Riley Dobson on comms today. Riley, what do you think was spoken about in the halftime sheds for both teams?
Both teams have provided ample opportunity. It just comes down to that final pass. Adelaide United have provided themselves and created more opportunities than what Western United have. They just haven't made the best decision. I think that will be a big talking point, and for Kat Smith, she'll be doing quite similar with Western United.
And a quick look to the goal that separates these two sides.
Look, Taranto using her strength, putting that ball in what we know is a dangerous area between a defender and a goalkeeper. No one knows who to come, who to go. And then you got Adrian Taranto slotting that home very calmly. And as we know, Georgia, Adelaide are known for conceding in these 15-minute periods. And once again, they've done it. And this is just a statistic that is evident through their games this season.
And you know what? Last season, Western United, the time that they scored the most goals was in that final 15 minutes of play. And the stat, I think, kind of doesn't take into account how many goals they scored in stoppage specifically, including the winner when these two sides played each other. And the only time that these two sides have faced each other almost a year ago. But I think looking forward in this next half, we have a really tightly contested play to come. There was a lot of counter-attacks, lots of shots on target. It is wet conditions. So much is to play for here.
Look, we're seeing, you know, Hannah Blake for Adelaide United has been, as we pointed out, she has been their pivotal attacking prowess up front. Hannah Keane is looking so much more comfortable in her natural position, and she's been working hard. Her touches have been pretty much on point as well. This could go either way. 1-0 is not a big lead, as we know, and it's only going to take a nice chat at halftime to get this to turn around.
And a look to the dugouts of both teams. Some real strong attacking presence on the bench for Western. You can see Kiwa Haida having a little bit of a giggle there. Of course, Emma Roberts, she scored the winner last time, also on the bench. And the options as well for Adelaide United, they have Emily Condon, their leading appearance on the pitch, on the bench as well, to potentially come on to create some havoc and attack. And we have restarted play here. Western getting us underway, shooting to the left of your screen in this half.
Look, Western United, they're going to most likely maintain what they have from the first half.
And immediately, Taranto forward, cleared away by Tonkin.
It's a very similar situation to when we saw she had an opportunity in the first half. It's that threaded ball from one line, skips the middle, and then goes to the front. She just doesn't quite have that speed to get around her, but she does have the technical ability.
And Sasaki ends up at the feet of Melissa Taranto. Dances around the ball. Close attention being paid by Holmes. Out back to Ma. Tries to reset through her defensive partner in Cern. Through the centre, through Savicki. Dancing through. Finds the feet of Taranto. Papadopoulos is there out wide on the run. Taranto holds up the play, and Papadopoulos looks to square a ball in. An opportunity for Hannah Keane. And Walters in the end pushes it out wide, but what a start to the second half.
Oh, we love the intensity and basically the light that this Western United have brought. This beautiful ball wasn't quite weighted well, but Hannah Keane's run and trying with a little side foot, which Jenkins has covered really well. She's gotten down low. She's covered as much as that near post and as well as the middle of the goal as possible. She's done exceptionally well for Adelaide United there. She's really proving her position coming in as, you know, first keeper today with Annalise Grove out.
And this is the first corner of for Western in this game. We did see quite a lot of action in this half, down this end for the first half, with a lot of free kicks. Only one corner for the game. Lagazzo now playing it low to embrace Ma. Ma curling it in. Beautiful delivery. Scramble in the box. Follow up here from Lagazzo. In the end, it will be another corner off Nanako Sasaki, but exciting play from Western. Again, pushing towards goal each time.
Look, they're trying a lot of variation here, and it's really nice to see. You've got the referee pinging Chloe Lagazzo here for the wrong tape on her socks. Great ball in. Julia Sato just hasn't got enough connection. Chloe Lagazzo, look, you can't blame her for trying to go off for a strong shot. It's ricocheted off. Realistically, they've got an outcome. They get another corner. The question is she just going to whip this one in?
They played it low the first time. Will Chloe Lagazzo deliver it high? Goes for a run up. Can see the run here of Ma once more. High delivery. In comes players for the box, but in the end, goes out wide. Resetting through Papadopoulos was Taranto. High delivery in. And offside is the call in the end. So puts an end to the attack we've seen from Western for the past couple of minutes to really start off this first half. Really no opportunity for Adelaide to get started, and immediately Western win back ball goes past the feet of Lagasso, but again it lands to the feet of the ever-present, ever-steady Grace Ma.
Western United have come out with such aggression into this second half. Whether it's going to be sustainable for the entire period of the second half, but Adelaide United very much need to get this under control.
Now Hannah Keane with an opportunity. Hannah Keane goes forward. And in the end, Claudia Jenkins able to get down low and save the shot from Hannah Keane. She has been relentless in front of goal, but Jenkins has been standing tall or getting down low where appropriate so far in this game.
Great little cut inside with the outside of her foot. She's just off balance when she's gone for that shot, and in the process, she's copped it through the ankle. Look, you can't fault her with her positioning, her attempts. She hasn't been playing her normal position, so her ability to shoot on target is going to be a little bit off until she gets her eye in. But it's coming. Whether it's this game, whether it's next, if she's playing in that traditional role, we're going to see more goals from her.
Taranto now with that beautiful delivery. Offside was called in the end, so Adelaide get back possession.
Adelaide, what I've noticed, are trying to play that higher line now that Western United have come out with some aggression. It could play against them, given the speed of TJ Vlanic, who was in an offside position before. She just didn't have her line quite right. But they need to watch out for this Adelaide United.
And Holmes running into the back of Sato. In the end, Sato wins the free kick.
I really liked what I've seen from Sato this game in particular. She's been very, very composed. She's been very consistent and steady, and she's been defending positively. You've seen a lot of growth from her in the last couple of seasons. She was with Melbourne City before. She's then obviously come across to Western United, and she's grown as a player, and she's really come into her own.
Of course, she played in the off-season with Calder, so some really valuable minutes coming with squad members in this back line in terms of, Alana Stern she would have had valuable minutes with, and also Natasha Dakic, who was on the bench. So potentially that off-season work as well, technically in the in-season for the NPLW, really helping her develop the style of play that works so well with the Western philosophy.
And that's what it comes down to. You as a player need to fit in with the style that a club is playing. Sometimes you just can't make it work if it's not something that you're used to. A little bit of an unusual touch there by Hilary Beale. It's not normally in her game. For it to be a little bit unsteady, she had it caught under her feet. Decided to get rid of it. Can't say I blame her.
Lagazzo pushes in the centre. Keane still first of the ball. And now the chase is on between Waldis and Keane. And now she's putting pressure on Jenkins. Goes out wide. Blake tries to the little flick on. But Sato is there to mop up the ball.
Adelaide United did very nicely coming out of that. Jenkins has come out. She's been very commanding in her box as well, which is what I've really liked. She's playing off her line. And it's meant that Adelaide can play through the pressure.
Blake through the centre, headed on. Dorba to Mariah Lee on the edge of the box. And Dorba once more. And a really crucial hand to it from Hilary Beale. The goalkeeper of the year last season, once more, just denying Adelaide a chance at goal.
You can see the smile on her face after that save. So a little bit of a tussle here. Lee's got the ball down, and that shot far corner away from the direction that Hilary Beale had her weight going has made her have a save, and what a save it was.
Corner taken quickly and short by Adelaide. Janchevsky deep into the box, over the top. But unfortunately hits the top of the net rather than goes under the bar. That was a stunning opportunity for Alatonkin, the centre-back.
That was a sitter, and she should have got that in. She was unmarked. She was under no pressure. Instead of jumping and attacking the ball, she's jumped upwards. So that's where she's lacked that direction.
A really defensive header, so to speak. But again, the prowess of Alana Janchevsky with that delivery into the box. But again, we've seen both sides have possession for periods in the start of the second half. We had Adelaide just then for a couple of minutes really trying to pepper towards their goal. Western United started so strongly to begin this half, and now here they go once more, running towards goal. Papadopoulos scoring the ball. Lagazzo takes it on her knee. Still with opportunity, plays it to Keane. Savitsky backwards to Melissa Taranto. Spots the run into the box, and Vlanic was the intended target, but Claudia Jenkins again doing so well, making the most of her opportunity and goals today.
She certainly is. She's commanding not only her box, but her teammates as well. She's leading by example. What we've just seen from Adelaide is they actually condensed their block. So they made it very difficult for the likes of Chloe Lagazzo to bounce and move the ball around. So they were able to hunt that ball and retain it rather quickly.
Sato on the ball, looking up for options, finds Papadopoulos. Her fullback compatriot threaded through. Adriana Taranto, really an opportunity once more. You can see the repetitive plays from Western United trying to throw those long balls through. Jenkins asking people to come in, asking for options from her players. Still on the ball. Papadopoulos to Savicki. Quick play from Western, but too quick for their players to be able to get on top of it. Results in an Adelaide throw. Hodgson to try and really, again, Taranto being held back there from Dorba. Advantage paid through the centre. And the ball goes towards no man's land. Alana Stern in the end, the first one to run onto it. Ups to play through her centre back in Ma. Through the centre, Ma with that ball. And Lagazzo. And this is Nanaka Sasaki. Really interesting battle between those two players today. Really matching up quite well physically against each other. You can see fouls conceded on both ends. Fouls won on both ends. But really doing quite a tussle in the midfield.
It has been, and it's been interesting that it's just been predominantly those two having that tussle. The midfield has been quite open for Western United to play the ball around, own that possession. I'd like to see Adelaide step up and take control of that a little bit more, so I wouldn't be surprised if around the 60th minute we saw a substitute for that.
Grossmar just opting to go the short option for the free kick now, running onto space. Taranto wanted to find Papadopoulos out wide, so Dorba intercepts the ball. And Ma looking up, noticing the time she has around her. Again, Western choosing to play it out. And Ma on the volley, finds Papadopoulos. Taking a chance, trying to egg Dorba on to come in for the challenge. Western holding on to possession. Ma assessing her options, going long, finding Keane, headed behind her, but into the path of Hodgson. Another quick change of possession from Western to Adelaide, back to Western. Vlanic pushing forward. Up to go back to Sato. Sato. Low delivery. An attempt there. And Adelaide could be on here with the counter-attack. Papadopoulos stopping that play before it gets to Dorba. But a lot of back and forth play. Cern pushes out wide to try and get it away from the mess of players in the centre of the pitch. Lagazzo hiking it long and tall, but in the end to no one in particular.
Look, you can see that Adrian Stenton has had a conversation with his team at half-time. They're playing a lower block now. They're condensing their entire midfield and their front line backwards. So it's putting a lot of pressure under Western United to make sure that they're going to have to work for it. Bouncing around the ball and playing that direct route is not going to quite work all the time.
And we will see the first substitution of the game. So Mariah Lee, goal scorer in their last game, comes off, and Emily Condon, the all-time leading record appearance maker for Adelaide United, coming on. So a like-for-like forward swap. What do you make of the substitution, Riley?
I am interested with the substitution. Lee has put in a lot of Ks, particularly in that first half, so they weren't utilising her as someone to play off. She was the workhorse. I would have preferred to have seen a switch in the midfield, given Adelaide has been quite quiet through there.
And a mistimed ball. Dorba almost had the opportunity for it there. Papadopoulos pushing forward.
There's the likes of, going back to that, Holmes has had a very quiet game in that midfield, so I would have liked to have seen a bit of a spark added into there.
Western still pushing forward. Hannah Keane passing out wide to Lagazzo. Goes down in the back of play. Lagazzo wanting to find that wide ball to Sato, but again, every time Western lose possession, there is someone there to mop it back up. That high press, quickly regain and retain possession. So Adelaide aren't really able to effectively get that counter-attack we've seen in the first half.
They've made sure that they're pushing up the defenders into those spaces. It's called positive defending. So this way, that when they are able to retain the ball, they can move forward again quite quickly, and they've already got outlets moving forward. Melbourne City are a team who do this quite well in previous years, and you're starting to see other teams adopt the same approach.
And Lagazzo down once more, wearing the armband today.
Look, it was a good tussle by the teams, but it was a little clip of the ankles here with Chloe Lagazzo just copying it slightly late. It's going to sting a little bit, but I'm sure with walking it off, she'll be fine.
And again, it's that battle between Nanako Sasaki and Chloe Lagazzo. That's the two workhorses in midfield for both teams. Again, coming to in a clash. And now Grace Maher over the ball. Goes out wide to Papadopoulos. Ranch is there to back her up. And again, Western always having someone in support. Cern, the long ball over the top to a swarm of players in red. Hilary Beale coming up to take a crucial touch. Fairway away from her line. Nice touch from Papadopoulos. Little flick on from Taranto, but there was no one there in the space. Sasaki through the centre. Hannah Keane really desperate to try and get a foot onto that. Jenkins curls it. Sasaki gets ahead to it, but directly into the feet of Adriana Taranto.
It's those little 1%ers at the moment that Western United are coming out on top. Those winning of those 50-50 balls, the headers.
And Papadopoulos out wide with no one in, but the cross into the box. Really easy pickings for Claudia Jenkins in the end.
It was a very similar cross to what Hannah Keane contested earlier on in the start of the second half. I'd like to see Papadopoulos get a little bit more on it, so it's going over the defenders and potentially over Jenkins as well, and a little bit further away from her, so greater than the 6-yard box. At the moment, that 6-yard box is all of hers to dominate, so Papadopoulos needs to get it away from her so that the likes of Hannah Keane can come in.
And dangerous run here. Beale over the top to try and evade Dorba. And again, just confirmation of the substitution we saw before. Mariah Lee coming off, Emily Condon coming on. Attacking substitution from Adrian Stenter to try and get his team back into this game.
I'm still a little bit confused about the substitution. I don't see it quite like for like, particularly when we link in positions and pace. But what Condon brings is experience to this game. She is a stalwart, not just for this club, but in this competition in general. So she's going to bring a lot of thought process and intelligence to her game and those around her. So I really hope to see her come forward, really make that spark and lift for Adelaide United.
Of course, she debuted at the age of 15 for Adelaide in 2014. This is her 93rd appearance for the club, so been around for a while. Very important member of this team, of this club as well.
Anyone that made their debuts early on in the seasons, basically to make it to the 100 club for players like that when the season used to only be 8 normal games and, you know, 1 semi and 1 grand final, it's a huge effort. And she needs to be commended for when she makes that 100.
Absolutely. So fingers crossed in coming weeks we'll see something important and big from Adelaide to celebrate the player that Emily Condon has been for this club for so long. And the success, you know, spoke about it, I think, in one of her re-signings about, you know, she wants to stay on to win that championship with the club. Of course, the club's only made the finals that one time, 21-22 season. But, you know, this is the loyalty of some of these players here who are so connected to Adelaide.
And that's a big thing with Emily Condon. She's shown a lot of loyalty to a club. And loyalty is not necessarily something that's quite large in football anymore because it's just, you essentially are just a number. You are replaceable. So for her to be able to stay with a club, that they've shown her that respect, given her time for when she's had injuries, but also for those around, you know, the opportunity that these youngsters have to learn off her, it's an amazing opportunity for them. And she should be commended for what she's achieved with this club.
The chase is on here between Taranto and Waldis. Taranto whips it in. Sasaki out on the angle. And now Janchevsky hoofs it long onto the path of Dorba. Hillary Beale a long way out and able to clear it. But my goodness, that would courage from Beale to stand tall, because that was a very clear opportunity for Adelaide if they were able to move past her.
Beale is known to be a very physically strong goalkeeper, and what she brings into this game is that she can play that sweeper role. She can also hold off a challenge, but she's also an amazing shot stopper. The biggest thing...
and here comes Glagazo. Oh, the stunning opportunity.
It's end-to-end stuff here. We start talking about the opportunity provided by someone and something else happens. Chloe Lagazo is very much getting onto the ball more this second half, into those dangerous areas as well.
It looks to be a substitution being made, and it's a big moment for Miley Gregg. Spoke about just before how Emily Condon was, you know, debuted at 15, one of the youngest players. That record has now been broken by Miley Gregg. Signed earlier this week, an attacking midfielder, performed in the South Australian NTC team for quite some time. And Adrian Stenter spoke about the fact that it does not at her age, because she's been training well and been training for quite some time with this team, she's deserved this opportunity, and she has made her way onto the pitch for her debut.
Look at what an opportunity it is for a player of her age to be playing at a level of the Liberty A-League. I mean, she's come into an interesting part of the game. They're only down by 1. She can make her mark, make her debut something even more special than the debut itself.
Lagazo. Delivery right to the centre of the box. Headed away. Janchevsky clears. Papadopoulos trying to bring it right back into dangerous play. Savitsky opts to go out wide again. The run in, you can see Keane looking for that ball over the top, and Taranto! And it's a second goal for Adriana Taranto. She gets her brace, and Western United are now 2-0 up.
These goals are coming from nothing, and it's coming in moments like this where there's been a lull in the game. It's almost like there's an air of complacency about Adelaide United, and she's once again snuck in at back post and just finished it off nicely. If we look at this ball, perfectly lifted, and she's just slotted it home. You look at the runs by Hannah Keane, and she's able to drag several players, and we've got once again a Taranto assist as well.
We're going to need a third word to do this Taranto twin double trouble.
Ooh, I don't
the
mind
assist
that.
and the goal here. It's a massive opportunity, but you can also see in the start of the celebrations how hard Stacey Papadopoulos was celebrating, and that's because that first ball that went to Melissa Taranto on that far right flank was because she brought it back into play from this positive defending that you've been talking about quite heavily in this game, Riley.
Look, it's now 2-0. As we know, if that was coming into half-time, it's a very different story. It's a dangerous scoreline. But I feel Adelaide need to make a change in the way that they're playing and get something back to really get themselves back into this game.
And now Papadopoulos. Western playing with their heads up. They're still hungry to continue on attacking with their ball. You can see that the way that they're still moving with intent. Cern to the feet of Lanich. Goes to Sato. Minimal touches before the ball is moved forward and around. Falcons won by Dylan Holmes. Sasaki.
And it's evident from Kat Smith coming in, you can see the structure that she plays. So she plays, as we were saying, they're quite composed. And here's Adelaide again away.
Ma. Moving forward. Lagazzo. You can see Adriana Taranto. She could be on for a hat-trick here. Time and space in front of her. Adriana Taranto unable to hold up the ball. Still goes a second time. There's still an opportunity for Western. Plays it back to Lagazzo. High delivery. And in the end, Dorba, the ball at her feet. An opportunity to now move it away. And Adelaide trying to clear it from danger. But again, at Western, they look so strong in attack. And Adriana Taranto, there's been no player that's ever scored a hat-trick for Western. This could be her opportunity today.
I was about to say, she's had a great game. She's come in at the right times. You've got Julia Sato here on the ball. She's been composed as well. And Western United are very much controlling things from the back all the way through to their front line. The likes of Chloe Lagazzo with that ball that she slotted through was perfectly weighted and timed.
Taranto to Lagazzo. And again, those quick changes of possession. The scrambles on the edge of the box. Here comes Miley Grigg, the 15-year-old, playing in with Emily Condon, the player that she just took off the youngest title of youngest ever Adelaide United player. In the backup play, I'm not sure we mentioned that Hannah Blake was the person being replaced by Miley Grigg as well.
I was surprised with Blake coming off, considering how well she was performing on the pitch and the outlet she was providing. But given she's just come back from an injury as well, they're going to be maintaining her well-being.
And Stacey Papadopoulos, that through ball to Keane. Jenkins coming all the way, spins on the ground, collects it. A bit fancy there, but she gets it done and protects herself and the ball in the end.
Jenkins is really throwing her hat into the ring for her spot in this #1 goalkeeper. But this ball through, beautiful. What I loved with Hannah Keane this time, considering what she did in the first half, is that she actually contested the keeper and the ball. So there was an opportunity for her to get a toe in, get around, potentially win a penalty in the box with the contention with the keeper. This is what we like to see out of our strikers.
Adelaide Grove, 40 appearances. An opportunity now for Dorba. Goes wide, able to beat Hillary Beale. And just like that, Adelaide United are back into this game.
We did say that we needed Adelaide to step up and they needed to get a goal to make this game come back into contention, and that was well taken by Dorba. She has been great for this team since her return, and we're looking at this. A mistake in the back line by Cern. Just got caught with the ball. Hillary Beale's left in no man's land. She's tried to cover all areas, but this was a beautifully placed shot, not blasted, inside of the foot, into the bottom corner. That's what you want from your attackers.
And Chelsea Dorba, she has returned the leading goal scorer last season for Adelaide United. She was previously playing in Sweden, returned just a couple of weeks ago, had an assist to her name for that goal from Mariah Lee in their last game against Brisbane. Hasn't scored since February, and now here she is back on the score sheet for her beloved Adelaide United.
It's game on, and this might be the little lift that Adelaide United needed.
Of course, you know, look at these total shot statistics. Adelaide 11, Western United 10. It's a hotly contested affair. There's so much happening at both ends of the pitch, and with so many of the attacking subs being made, here is the opportunity now for Dylan Holmes pushing forward. Tries to thread it through in the end, cleared by Ma. But I don't think that will just be enough because Nonono Sasaki is back on the ball. Hodgson pushing up. And a little miscommunication finds Holmes flat-footed. And in the end, it will be a goal kick for Western.
So suddenly we're seeing a lift from Adelaide United. And this is what happens when a goal happens. And you're suddenly going from 2-0 down to 2-1. There's only one more goal in it. And they've got a sniff. And you can see that from the way they bounced out the ball. They returned it to the middle. They could have looked for the switch, but they saw the likes of Dorber, the likes of Holmes and Condon. And they were sitting in between those gaps.
You know what they always say, 2-0 is the most dangerous score in football, and potentially this is something we could be witnessing here. This is the score we saw between these two sides the last time they played. But Adelaide, they look hungry. They look like they're desperate to bring on the points for their team and actually change around their season. And again, just confirmation of that substitution. Miley Great coming on, Hannah Blake coming off. And now, Tonkin, again, Hannah Keane really pressing on the defenders in the end. Results in a goal kick. But the energy in this game has absolutely lifted since that Western United second goal in the half, because Western looked hungry, but then Adelaide have fought their way back into this game.
It has lifted. It's made me even excited. I love a close game, and when two teams who are playing different styles and they're battling it out for points.
Blanich from distance, and it hits the crosswork, an open goal, and Hannah Keane, the Golden Boot winner of last season, misses an open goal.
Oh my goodness. I don't quite know what just happened there. TJ Blanich has such a shot on her, and I know this from personal experience. Jenkins has palmed that onto the post, and Hannah Keane, I'm not quite sure what the thought process was there, whether she's just gone, I just need to hit this hard and get this into the back of the net, get my goal scoring back on track. But that could be crucial in the outcome of this game. That was huge.
Absolutely, and Claudia Jenkins, I'm sure, should be thrilled with her initial save and the follow-up. That was just pure relief in the back of play. I think you could see it on her face as well. Another goal kick and a substitution. Kiwa Haeda has come on. Tyler J. Vlanich, that shot at goal is her last moment in this game, being substituted. So a really creative attacking player coming on. I think instead of what TJ Vlanich has provided in terms of physical speed and presence as well as attacking prowess. So really interesting to see the substitutions that Kat Smith has made in her first game, her first substitution, in fact. And we can see Lagazo running onto the ball. High delivery, but Jenkins puts her body behind it, able to collect it with ease.
The substitution is not a surprise for TJ Blanich, particularly after coming back from a groin injury. Groins are those finicky little injuries. They do fatigue quite quickly when they're coming back. So it'd be a protection of TJ for future games, which is really smart from Kat Smith. She doesn't just see her as a number, she sees her as someone crucial for her squad.
And of course, TJ Vlanich, not only has she been playing so extensively here in the Liberty A-League, she also, as a Serbian international, has been playing quite heavily in their Nations League games as well. Herself and Vesna Milivojevic have been going across for the international breaks. Neither of them were selected for the most recent round of international games that were held last week, but still a really crucial part of not only this Liberty A-League, but the Serbian international women's team as well.
And it's great to see so many players playing through a variety of European football and coming back here to Australia to play, because what that is providing for our competitions are different styles. So it's not just focusing on that athleticism that we've really focused and taken into account from the US cohort for such a long time. We are now starting to see more technical abilities coming from players. So you've got to look at the likes of Chidiac, who's been playing through a variety of competitions, and she's coming, when she comes back, she brings that to the game.
And now an opportunity now for Dorba. Ma just so clear on her timing with that tackle. Really immaculate player and technical ability, Grace Ma.
Grace Maher is one that, you know, with this game going forward, and if they really need to push for a goal, Kat Smith could go to 3 at the back. She could push Grace Maher up. We know she can control the midfield. We also know that she can not only shoot and provide attacking opportunities, she can actually take a really good free kick as well.
We've seen it plenty of times for her former clubs, especially Canberra United. Saw a great one at the start of this year. Now, Adelaide with the corner. Sasaki following the flight of the ball. Challenge from Haida. And ball falls to the feet of Sasaki once more. And Lagazo, bit of a scramble. Has no clear possession. Now Condon. And Kiwa Haida comes up with the ball, going for a run, using her speed. Ball in front to Hannah Keane, and Keane just able to position herself so well. A slide tackle from Sasaki, but in the end, the ball falls, comes to Dorva. A little bit of miscommunication from the players, but Adelaide gain back possession.
Sasaki's been playing a great screening role for Adelaide United. I really like the amount of touches she gets on the ball, the composure she shows, and we saw in that tackle, it was well timed and it was clean, and they were able to retain possession. It wasn't just going into the path of space or no one in particular.
Waldus, thumping kick, headed out by Sato. Hodgson to Holmes. Little flick back, an attempt at goal, and Beale smart to jump onto it and give her players as well some time to reset. Into the final 10 minutes or so, a little bit extra. And a quick look at that passage of play.
It was a great shot on target, and Beale's done really well. She's shown great technique. You don't tend to see what you see in a lot of the younger keepers coming through, which is palming it down to the ground, letting it bounce and come back up.
An opportunity now for Adelaide. Condon at the edge of the box, finds Holmes with space, tries to slide it through the centre, but in the end there was no players there, and both Western defenders smart to leave it for Beale. Dorba now trying her luck against Beale, which is, you know, she was able to win that ball to get the goal. But, of course, Hilary Beale, spoken about it quite heavily in this broadcast, the goalkeeper of the season last year, very experienced player.
She is, and she's been demonstrating that all game. And you've now got Hannah Keane working hard, trying to get it for a team.
Keane, that low ball in, but Walder's able to dispatch it in the end. Savicki loaded it up, but Sasaki able to bring it down. Again, that pinball football we've been seeing so much of. Taranto. Papadopoulos streaming forward. Finds the goal scorer for Western. Ball goes to the back of the feet of Papadopoulos. But now Emily Condon is on for a run. Passes out wide to Janchevsky. Miley Grigg on that line for Adelaide. Hodgson to Sasaki. The first touch just in front of her, but able to keep hold of the ball. And flat-footed again. And here's an opportunity for Keane, but still Kiwa Haida comes onto it, tries to score it, goes into the feet of Hodgson. And it is exciting football that we're seeing. There's so much happening in this game. Condon through the centre, time and space, she keeps running on. He shouts her offside, and in the end it is given against Miley Grigg.
That was a beautiful passage of play by Adelaide United. I mean, Western United have done the right thing. They've held up their lines. They've played it slightly higher. They've taken the step, and they've made sure that Greg has stayed offside. And it looks like we potentially have a substitute now for Western United.
And it looks like Adriana Taranto is coming off.
What a day for her.
And Emma Robers, the goal scorer for the winner for the last game, is coming on. And it looks like both Tarantos are coming off, so it's a double Taranto switch. They have 2 goals, 2 assists to their names.
What a day of double trouble for these two. They've been outstanding for Western United. And I'm not surprised with the substitutions in their midfield, with the amount of work rate, the state of the pitch in terms of the heaviness with all this rain. It's going to be weighing on legs. So it's smart by Kat Smith to now retain that time, particularly when we're in the 80th minute.
And Lucy Richards, she played for Calder United, the so-called feeder team of this Western United side. Very strong appearance. She scored in their gold-winning Nike Cup match. And Hodgson now pushing forward on the ball for Adelaide. Pulls it back for Condon. Condon, will she load up in the end? Just unable to find those connections in attack, Adelaide United.
There was just a bit of miscommunication there. I'm not quite sure whether Dorber was slightly offside, and so she's just let it play through. But we're not even starting. We're seeing the makings of an Adelaide that I'm used to seeing over previous years. It's just that lack of consistency they've had because of injuries, because of player turnover. I think we're going to start seeing a bit of a change with Adelaide United moving forward for the rest of the competition.
And, of course, they have some real star powers out with injury at the moment. Amelia Murray, of course, scored a fantastic goal this season. And who can forget the winner she scored against Sydney in the opening round last year. And Chrissy Panagaris, another proven goal scorer in the South Australian NPL, who is out as well with a concussion. So there's opportunities for players to come back into the squad with also offer a real attacking option for Adrian Stenter and his team.
Very much so. Both teams have done really well with bringing forward players out of NPL competitions. You don't see that across the board in the Liberty A-League. So the fact that these players are getting given the opportunity from the community is fantastic. It's what we want to see.
And Kiwa Hayata now on the run, tries to lay it low for Hannah Keane. Able to get there before Jenkins does. High ball lofted, and Lagazzo wanted to go for the volley. Savisky goes for the second opportunity, and in the end it will be a goal kick. So a couple of options there for Western when it came to who was going to take the shot towards goal, but just unable to make a meaningful chance in the end.
Look, it was perfect Hannah Keane work, and it's what we're used to seeing with her. We look like we've got, is it Chloe Lagazzo down at the moment? And obviously that's going to be a concern for the likes of Western United, given she has had some proneness to injuries in the last 18 months, which has kept her out of the national team and also just playing in general. It's going to take its toll on any player.
A quick look to that passage of play that we just saw, all this attacking options for Western United.
And Hannah Keane is starting to do what she does best. We're going to forget, obviously, the goal-scoring opportunity that she should have finished. And we look at the work ethic that she's putting forward for Western United. So she's putting pressure on keepers. She's doing what we've identified that your traditional nine should be doing, is putting that pressure on the keeper, seeing if you can nick the ball. Sometimes you can't get around it, but you're going to give that opportunity to someone else, which she did try to provide for the likes of Lagazzo. But it just wasn't quite the perfect ball. But that's going to come now that she's back into this position and she's got the players around her that she can utilise for this.
Kat Smith still has an opportunity to go for one more substitution window. And, of course, Natasha Dakic is on the bench and a really reliable centre-back, an option to bring Grace Maher forward, potentially. There are options here at play depending on how Lagazzo is. And, of course, fingers crossed, we do love seeing her in the Liberty A-League. To have a player of her quality, someone with 55 Matilda's caps playing here week in, week out, is such a joy to witness.
That it is. And the thing is, you've got to think in Kat Smith's mind, this is her first game with Western United. Does she play it safe? And does she keep her back line as is and go for those 3 points in her first game back? Or does she kind of go Ange Postecoglou style and actually really attack and finish this game and really put the sword basically through Adelaide United?
Keane getting involved deep in her own half. A little clash between Hodgson and Lagazzo, making her way back onto the pitch. So she will rejoin the play. Western's time of playing with only 10 for a couple of minutes now over. See the hustle from Sato on Hodgson. No player making it easy for the other. Goes back through to Waldus. Now Janchevsky. Sato wins the ball. A little clash in the centre, but play continues on. Lucy Richards streaming forward. Savisky opts to go back. Robers scored the winner last time. And again, Western taking a moment to reset and Chelsea Dorba really rising in confidence since she got that goal, really putting such a high press on and able to win the ball back, able to use her physicality quite well against these central defenders. Papadopoulos threads it through for Keane, but loses her footing in the end. And Claudia Jenkins picks it up, and I think everyone takes a moment to catch their breath.
Very much so. You're looking at, look, they love to play Hannah Keane. They know she can hold up a ball. She's got that height and that ability to really she can stretch and she can get a little nick in.
And again, you can see the work being done in the middle of the pitch by Western United to win ball back. Holmes now looking to lay it off for Janczewski. Boots it. Ma gets a touch to it, but Dorba, ever present, ever dangerous. Plays it through the centre for Miley Grigg. Dorba, once more, involves the 15-year-old. Hodgson. Through Sasaki. And two Western players came streaming to get that header to clear it. The 1%ers are still here, even though we enter the final minutes of regulation time for the match. Hodgson still pushing forward, lays it low for Condon. Condon! And right into the back of Savitsky, and the ball goes out there, and a real opportunity for Hodgson in the end, but you can see her, the captain kicking herself there for the moment. That could have been an opportunity for a rare goal.
This is great play. Condon's held up the ball, and she's very dangerous in these opportunities. But Hodgson's she just hasn't got it quite right. She's leant back a little bit, and look, she'll probably be angry and disappointed in herself that she didn't make more of that opportunity. But Adelaide is still knocking, and you never know with how much time there is.
And two substitutions for Adelaide. Isabel Hodgson, after that shot, will be her last involvement in the game coming off, as is Alana Janczewski. So, attacking and a defensive change there. And Holmes over the top, but Beale able to collect.
Really well defended, not just by Beale, but Western United in that point. They got their body in between the ball to allow for Beale to collect it.
And the changes who came onto the pitch for Adelaide United are Jenna Holtz and Zoe Tolland. Ball being played out wide. Chelsea Dorba, and just again, confirmation on your screen of those substitutions. Tolland playing it back. Tonkin, no team having respite. The attackers are putting so much pressure on defence. Ball goes behind Holmes. Savitsky opts to go back through Beale. Opportunity to reset. Tolland, Savitsky, Hayeda. Booted long, and Keane gets a foot to it, able to bring it down in the end. And Lagazzo still with time and guts to burn, goes on that run, putting pressure on Sasaki to, in the end, win the throw for Western United.
Chloe Lagazzo is starting to look a little bit like more herself with her work rate and the areas that she's working into. The time is now for Adrian Stenson. Does he go, okay, we need points here. Do we go for the win? Do we push as many players forward? And if we lose 3-1, we lose 3-1? But with 4 minutes of extra time, anything can happen in this. We could end up with a win here for Western United, a draw, or you never know, Adelaide could make that comeback.
And Papadopoulos just guarding it out. Wins the throw. So that is 4 minutes of time added on. You know, they've spoken heavily about the results the last time these two players, the only time that these two sides have faced each other, second fixture in the history of this matchup. And of course, the 2 goals came in stoppage time. Now they've scored before that, but both teams still look hungry for goals. There's still plenty of opportunity and appetite for them pressing forward. Papadopoulos just scooping it in, but Adelaide winning the ball. Dorba looking to take on Sasaki. Holmes, the back of play to Holtz, and a sliding tackle from Cern. And on the far left, again, Miley Grigg just struggling to stay on side in this match. And a yellow card goes the way of Jenna Holtz. Hasn't been on the pitch very long, but goes straight into the book.
Who doesn't love a bit of referee chatter when it's the back end of a game, you're pushing? But look, Adelaide are really, they're showing the makings of a more improved team, a more cohesive team moving forward. It's going to be interesting, I think, and we've seen the makings of what Adelaide should look like moving forward for the rest of the competition, particularly in this second half.
Ma finds Savitsky, and you can see just the energy that Jenna Holtz has brought onto the pitch. Walters, and again, quick changes of possession. One-touch football from Western United. Ma, with heaps of time and space and opportunity in front of her, opts to go through Papadopoulos, and Kiwa Haeda, she's calling for that ball. She's making that run. Throws it low, and an opportunity, Hannah Keane once more. This game will feature in her nightmares this week.
It's just not her day, is it? I feel just like she's had clear opportunities, and as a striker, there's just days where things just don't happen for you, and it very much looks like one of these days. It's going to be hard, but what she does at the end of today, she goes, it's a learning opportunity. I got to be back in my more natural position. I'm getting my eye in on things.
She is a fantastic player. We've seen what she's able to do, and of course, you know, seeing what she also posts in socials about her mentality when she comes to approaching this game as well. She is someone who is always a student of the game and always learning. But Hannah Keane, we can just see that this will probably be something that spurs her on and motivates her for the coming weeks for Western United. I'd be terrified if I was playing them in the next couple of weeks.
And you can tell that the amazing player that she is, she went through a dry spell last year for goals as well. And she came back and finished off the competition strongly. She took out the golden boot. You know, you can't take that away from a player and the calibre that she has brought to Western United.
Bill boots it out long into the final minute or so of play. Papadopoulos taking the opportunity to tie her shoelace as well. Some valuable time wastage, I would argue.
Well, realistically, she's off the pitch, so they should have been playing on.
Dorba to the feet of Sasaki. Again, the relentless pressure never stops from this Western United team. Richards now running onto the ball, and time and space in front of Hannah Keane. The flag stays down, and Hannah Keane, she gets her goal. And just like that, in the stoppage time of this game, like we saw last year, Western United score once more. And just like that, 3-1 is the final score, most likely in the final seconds of play, unless Adelaide pulls something out of the bag here.
This is what we love from Hannah Keane. You can see the relief on her face after that ball goes in the back of the net, but this is so token to her game. She's able to just take the ball, she brings it down and cushions it softly. She comes across the defender slightly and goes, hey, this is going in the bottom of the corner. You can see the relief and how much that meant to her. And look, she's deserved that for the effort that she has put in. And hopefully that just settles her nerves a little bit for the remainder of the season. But as we said, Adelaide United needed to go for it. They have. You know, it's come back as 3-1 at the moment.
Final seconds of this game. Referee Isabel Diaz making sure that play is able to continue on. No time wasting from the Western United players. And now, final opportunity. Can Adelaide get one back in the final seconds? Keane boots it long. Kiwaedas running onto the ball. Pushed out by Toland. And Haida scored a maiden goal a couple of weeks ago against Victory. Papadopoulos keeping it, wasn't able to keep it in play, and Dorba wants to keep play moving. Adelaide United still want to get something out of this game. And that is the final whistle from Isabella Blaise. And what a game it has been between Adelaide United and Western United. A tussle on both ends, plenty of scoring opportunities, plenty of goals in the end. We went into that break 1-0 to Western United, and in the end, it has finished with 2 goals to that player for Adriana Taranto and 2 assists from her sister, Melissa Taranto. A final goal from Hannah Keane, of course, a very crucial goal from Chelsea Dorber.
It was an all-round fantastic performance by Western United, so they can go home confident that they deserve those 3 points. Adelaide United have a little bit to come to, but I think we've seen the makings of them now.
And in the end, it is Adelaide United 1, Western United 3. And let's have a look at the highlights in this game. We had 4 goals in the end, plenty of tussle on the pitch and heart and fight.
And look, here we have the first of the double trouble of the 10 Taranto twins. Beautiful ball, back stick, Compose slots at home. What these two twins do, the connection that they have, but they put it into space. And then again, on their second one, it almost replicates the first, but it's just in the air. And a beautiful run by Hannah Keane to draw the Adelaide United players to front stick.
In the end, you can see how happy they are. Just the joy on the faces of these Western United players. It hasn't been the season I think they wanted to start with. And again, a goal here for Chelsea Dorber, just able to win the ball off Alana Stern. Gets it in the back of the net for a very crucial goal to bring it back.
And then we have what we just saw moments ago, Hannah Keane getting what she's been working so hard for Western United, but also for herself. And you can see that relief. And Western United seal that game with a 3-1 win over Adelaide United.
And you can see just how grateful Hannah Keane is to get that one in the back of the net. Can look at Kat Smith. First victory for Western United. First game in charge of them was announced just over a week ago as their new coach. You can see how happy the whole team is. Lots of smiles on the faces of the girls in green and black.
I've seen the change in Western United purely in this first game under Kat Smith. They're positive in their defensive. They're also very attack focused. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens now the rest of the season when they're coming up against some of the teams that they've played previously. But undoubtedly, they deserve those 3 points.
And a quick look to the stats of the game. There was a lot of shots in this game. 16 to Adelaide, 13 to Western United. Of course, a lot of fouls as well, 11 to 12. It was contested football at its best. 3 corners apiece and two yellow cards to Adelaide United and just the solitary one for Western. So lots happening in these statistics. I think really tell a great story of what we saw in the game today.
Look, credit to both teams considering the conditions, and there had been talk that there was going to be a 30-minute delay because the water was holding the ball up on the pitch. So both these teams have come out and put on a stellar performance for everyone for the Liberty A-League and shown that conditions don't actually always play a part. It's what you do.
And what a wonderful game of football. We have, of course, plenty more football to come to this weekend. Of course, we've got a couple games tomorrow and tonight as well. Please make sure you're staying tuned in on 10 Play and Paramount Plus. It has been an absolute pleasure having you with us.
Thanks, Georgia.